With things developing as quickly as they are, I think it's a good idea for us to communicate with you more frequently than less frequently. So we're going to send you a video every time we think of something that we want to communicate to you. And in this video, I want to talk about where we stand and what we potentially could be looking at. One of the things that is particularly worrisome about this coronavirus is that we've seen estimates anywhere from 70% of the population is going to be infected, to a low end of 40%. But let's say that it's a third to be conservative. We have 300 million people living in this country, which means that 100 million people could be infected with this virus. And right now, the estimates are that it's somewhere from 2 to 4% of the population that catches this virus will die from it. So potentially what we're looking at is 2 to 4 million people dying from this virus. And the concern that we have is that if we're seeing these numbers, because right now the numbers are small, but if there's going to be 100 million people infected, that number is going to escalate rapidly from where it is now. And the number of deaths, if it starts getting into the tens, hundreds of thousands, or millions, is going to be very scary to all of us. And it's going to affect how we behave, and it's going to affect the economy. And so right now, the downside that we see is still very great, despite the fact that we may have up days on the way. In 2008, we had a bunch of very big up days, as we have so far in this bear market. And we anticipate more in the future. The other thing to consider right now is that in Y2, if this bear market turns out to be anything like Y2K or 2008, then we could see the Dow go down to 12,000 to be in the same range as 2008 and Y2K. So right now, that would be another potentially 10,000 points from where we sit. That's dramatic, folks, and that's what we're concerned about. As I record this, the S&P, the stock market, was down about 26% for the year, and we sold when it was down about 11%. So we could be experiencing 2.5 times the losses in our equity portfolio than we did year to date had we stayed in. So we're very happy that we did get out. The issue, of course, is that when you look at your statements, you'll see that you had a loss. And unfortunately, we don't know how to avoid all losses other than not be invested. And so therefore, there is a possibility we did have that loss. However, for most of you, as painful as it is not, we think, going to cause you to have to unretire or not retire when you wanted to. We consider, it's a really bad punch in the arm. It hurts like heck. It left a big bad bruise, and we understand that. But it's better than an arm amputation. And something that you cannot, that'll change your plans entirely. So we want to avoid that. And that's why we took the action that we did, and we are down right now. So the thing that we want to make sure that we impart on you is that, we're not in equities. We're out of the stock market right now. And the vagrancies that it has are not a worry to us, or shouldn't be. And so we want to manage this for you so that you don't have to worry about it. So please do not worry about it. Let us manage it for you and take the worry out of it for you, okay? So we appreciate you being a client. We wish there was a way for us to have a strategy that had no losses at all. Our strategy is designed to give us an unlimited upside and a tolerable downside. So this downside we've experienced hurts, but relative to what it could be, and we think will be, it's tolerable. We hope. Okay. So again, we appreciate you being our client. We are so grateful to that. And one of our core values is we want to have more fun than a human being should be allowed to have when talking about all of this boring financial stuff. And you always have a choice as to how you're going to perceive things. And we like to perceive things as a positive. And we like to always have a positive outlook on everything. So we're going to hope that this situation with the virus is resolved quickly, and the loss of life does not become in the millions as people are predicting that it will get to, and that all of this turns out to be a tempest in a teapot, and we shouldn't have sold in the first place. Okay, from a human perspective, we hope that's the case. However, from a realistic perspective, we think that's not going to be. So again, thank you for being our client. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts, and we will do everything we can to manage this for you and take the worry away from you. So, and probably you're going to be staying home a lot, so we're going to be sending you a lot of videos to watch in case you get tired of watching Netflix, as I was this weekend. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't watch any more Netflix. I got to have something else to do. But we're going to have to get used to staying home. So we'll talk soon.